Hello and welcome to Wise Words of Wisdom, IQ. Exceptional performers are masterful opportunists, keenly alert to opportunity. Brian Tracy. A prudent man must behave like those archers who, if they are skillful, when the target seems too distant, know the capabilities of their bow and aim a good deal higher than their objective, not in order to shoot so high, but so that by aiming high they can reach the target. Niccolò Machiavelli. People who have achieved great success are not necessarily more skillful or intelligent than others. What separates them is their burning desire and thirst for knowledge. The more one knows, the more one achieves. Robin Sharma. I'm not a great programmer. I'm just a good programmer with great habits. Kent Beck. Age and treachery overcome youth and skill. Fausto Coppi. A skillful commander is not overbearing. A skillful fighter does not become angry. A skillful conqueror does not compete with people. One who is skillful in using men puts himself below them. This is called the strength to use men. The highest principle of old. Lao Tzu. It is not the ship so much as the skillful sailing that assures the prosperous voyage. George William Curtis. Keeping the mind happy makes work effortless. This is the skill for productivity. Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. In periods where there is no leadership, society stands still. Harry S. Truman. Quality is never an accident. It is always the result of intelligent effort. John Ruskin. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. Brian Herbert. You can cut down a tree with a hammer, but it takes about 30 days. If you trade the hammer for an axe, you can cut it down in about 30 minutes. The difference between 30 days and 30 minutes is skills. Jim Rohn. If you're just creative, you'll always have to rely on technical people. If you're creative and technical, you're unstoppable. Robert Rodriguez. You don't win by being good. You win with hard work and sacrifice. Without that, skill is just potential. Body Orr. Your success in life and work will be determined by the kinds of habits that you develop over time. Brian Tracy. The skillful leader subdues the enemy's troops without any fighting. Sun Tzu. Learn to hide your need and show your skill. Jim Rohn. I always hankered to be a composer. I was mad about music, though I never studied seriously and can't read a note. But I learned to play the piano and became pretty skillful at improvisation, especially after a drop or two. Conrad Aiken. Those who have power understand that the world is not always a just and fair place and accept that fact. And they understand the bases and strategies for acquiring power, and they take actions consistent with their knowledge in a skillful way. Skill at anything requires practice, and power skills are no different. Jeffrey Pfeffer. It's very important to realize that every person that you meet, everything that you do, with the right attitude and a little awareness and skillful means, we can transform everything, all our joys and sorrows. Tenzin Palmo. No matter how skillful you are, you can't invent a product advantage that doesn't exist. And if you do, and it's just a gimmick, it's going to fall apart anyway. William Birnbach. Let not a man do what his sense of right bids him not to do, nor desire what it forbids him to desire. This is sufficient. The skillful artist will not alter his measures for the sake of a stupid workman. Mencius. A skillful man reads his dreams for his self-knowledge, yet not the details, but the quality. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Be skillful in speech, that you may be strong. Maru Carey. A skillful photographer can photograph anything well. John Sharkowski. Is any man skillful enough to have fashioned himself? Saint Augustine. Under the sun, the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor wealth to the intelligent, nor success to the skillful, but time and chance govern all. For man does not know his time. Solomon.
You are watching Wise Words of Wisdom, Inspirational Quotes, IQ, the Inspirational Quotes channel everyone goes to for their daily motivation and to learn from the most successful men and women in history. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you never miss a new episode. Today's sponsor is Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute. Discover the secret to having good luck from America's greatest prosperity teacher, Bob Proctor. 6 Minutes to Success is based on Bob's more than 50 years of research into what makes or keeps people from being successful. Get instant access to the free video right now. The link is in the description. Now let's get back to more great quotes.
Although a skillful flatterer is a most delightful companion if you have him all to yourself, his taste becomes very doubtful when he takes to complimenting other people. Charles Dickens. The more truthful I am with myself and others, the more my conscience is clear and tranquil. Thus, I can more thoroughly and unequivocally inhabit the present moment and accept everything that happens without fear, knowing that what goes around comes around. This is the law of karma. Sharia Des. Always leave people with a solution. The heaven if you do versus the hell if you don't. If you're really skillful, you can put the person into the future solution. Jim Rohn. By altering his arrangement. At the critical moment, the leader of an army acts like one who has climbed up a height and then kicks away the ladder behind him. Sun Tzu. Smooth seas don't produce skillful sailors. It's the rough waters that train us to be his disciples. He uses the turbulent times in our lives to prepare us for his purposes, if we'll let him. Lynn Austin. No thief, however skillful, can rob one of knowledge, and that is why knowledge is the best and safest treasure to acquire. L. Frank Baum. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful men gain their reputation from storms and tempests. Epictetus. Maybe the Dalai Lama is the only person who is totally honest, and even with him, he's skillful not to hurt anybody. He's skillful. Richard Gere. No amount of skillful invention can replace the essential element of imagination. Edward Hopper. I know how easy it is for one to stay well within moral, ethical, and legal bounds through the skillful use of words, and to thereby spin, sidestep, circumvent, or bend a truth completely out of shape. To that extent, we are all liars on numerous occasions. Sidney Poitier. Ships are to little purpose without skillful seamen. Richard Hakluyt. The older I get, the wiser and more skillful I get. Rakim. Learning is like mercury, one of the most powerful and excellent things in the world in skillful hands. In unskillful, the most mischievous. Alexander Pope. For man, maximum excitement is the confrontation of death and the skillful defiance of it by watching others fed to it as he survives, transfixed with rapture. Ernest Becker. A balanced and skillful approach to life, taking care to avoid extremes, becomes a very important factor in conducting one's everyday existence. Dalai Lama. Skillful pitching is a necessary, but not sufficient, part of raising capital. More important are the realities of your organization. Are you building something meaningful, long-lasting, and valuable to society? Guy Kawasaki. In the hands of a skillful indoctrinator, the average student not only thinks what the indoctrinator wants him to think, but is altogether positive that he has arrived at his position by independent intellectual exertion. This man is outraged by the suggestion that he is the flesh and blood tribute to the success of his indoctrinators. William F. Buckley, Jr. Some people like encouragement. Some people prefer to have pressure. And sometimes, for some people, it's better to give your comment by silence because they are so skillful, so gifted, that they understand without talking too much. Wong Kar-wai. Have you beheld a man skillful in his work? Before kings is where he will station himself. He will not station himself before commonplace men. Solomon. However capable and skillful an individual may be, left alone, he or she will not survive. We must depend on the support of others. Dalai Lama. A person may, indeed, by skillful conduct and various artificial means, make a sort of name for himself. But if the inner jewel is wanting, all is vanity and will not last a day. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Enjoy the present hour, be mindful of the past, and neither fear nor wish the approaches of the last. Learn of the skillful. He that teaches himself hath a fool for his master. Benjamin Franklin. The most skillful flattery is to let a person talk on and be a listener. Joseph Addison. There are many skillful apprentices, but few master workmen. Henry David Thoreau. Practice is just as valuable as a sale. The sale will make you a living. The skill will make you a fortune. Jim Rohn. To be successful, you don't need a beautiful face and heroic body. What you need is a skillful mind and ability to perform. Rowan Atkinson. Every artist was first an amateur. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The key to life is to become skillful enough to be able to do rewarding things. Jim Rohn.